back to April 3 Bill on Saxlingham. We are continuing just about where we left off, to be fair. Not a lot has happened. There has been some bailing done. I managed to remember to reset the bale counter, so we will get an accurate representation of how many bales we've made, funnily enough. So, in this episode, we will get the baling done. We will not necessarily clear the bales. We will spray field number 9 with some fertilizer, some nitrogen, and we'll go from there, I think. The other thing that we could look to do again is see if there's any more cows, decent cows for sale, because the money is looking rather healthy still, so that is all good. And I think it helps the fact that we're not buying seed, and we're not buying solid fertilizer, at least at the moment. So I shall crack on, get the majority of this probably done, and then we will go from there. I think we are going to be using the John Deere a fair old bit today, just because it's still got the narrows on it as well, so that'll be handy for spraying the fertilizer. We will use the John Deere power spray. Yes, I think that is a plan, so I will crack on. This is not going to take us too long, but as you can see, we're amassing a fair number of bales. So, baling complete, and we ended up with 64. Yes, 64 bales, which is pretty darn good, I think. So, we shall get this thrown very carefully into the shed. We'll grab the sprayer and we'll head over to that field number 9. Got that down there. Right, I should see you in the field. Spraying is underway. Ha. And I was like, oh, it's not applying, but it's the tram line. That sort of strip down the centre of where we've been on the bottom left. But yeah, I didn't, possibly wrongly, I didn't bother buying any more fertiliser. But we'll see. If we have to go back and buy some more, we will. Because we can. And I may have bought a new weight. New to us, self-made weight. It looks the bees and the keys. So hopefully, if we actually follow the tram line, we should be good. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. It's actually a big field, this. It's, yes, it's going to take some time to harvest, but should bring us in a decent amount of money, hopefully. Anyway, yeah, a lot we haven't done. I think the way we did some spraying, no, it wasn't too long ago. Very good. It's going swimmingly, as you know, as you would expect for a simple job like driving on a set route around a field. Anyway, I am talking utter dribble. I shall carry on, and just quickly while I think about it, there's probably been a little bit of a lack of content. Just time to get it done, and you know, they are bigger fields. They do take longer to do. Yes, I know I could use workers, but it's just, yeah, time is not is a cruel mistress. I've said it many times before. But she is indeed a cruel mistress. But a little bit of time has passed, and what I'll do now is, hopefully, if the editor has listened to this, is flash up a screenshot of us contracting our little hearts out. I said it literally in the last clip, but time has been a cruel, cruel mistress. But we are cracking on. We got plenty of money. We had over probably 200 grand. And I've bought some cows. I've also made a decision on the smaller grass field. Excuse me. What did I see? I think it was a TikTok, and it pointed out that, and I can't remember if it was on this map or what, but so you know, probably has been a thing since day dot with the game. Green beans. Now we can plant them. Let's just get round here. We can plant them into May, I think, and then we can harvest them, funnily enough. But they are harvested at such a time that we can then put something like oats in. So that's what we're going to do. I have the JCB in the field already. We are going to mow it first. It would be wasteful not to. So that is the plan. Again, an apology for the severe lack of content. Work's been ridiculous, and it's just, there's been a lot of back and forth, let's put it that way. But I did have a nice bit of time to one evening to sit and mess with settings, graphical settings. Big thank you to FarmerSim for pointing me in the right direction. He also runs an AMD graphics card, so yeah, it was helpful to have that sort of experience with it, I guess. And yeah, I think it looks a lot better than it did. So yeah, thank you, buddy. But yeah, so that is the plan. So I have obviously been and refilled the sprayer as well, because we were out. Well, we weren't out. We wouldn't have had enough to finish the field. So yeah, that is the cunning-ish plan. So I'm going to get the spraying done. We will see how we go for light. But yeah, it's nice to have that sort of, that, not brainwave moment, but that sort of light bulb moment where you go, that could be quite cool. I've done contracts, I think, for green beans in the past, but we've not harvested them for ourselves. We won't get a fat lot off it, and it'll probably be a loss leader once we've leased the equipment. But hey, it's something different, isn't it? So I will get this done. We will have a quick look at all the new cows. We've got quite a mixed bunch. I've tried to keep it as sort of anything above high for milk production, because that's what we ultimately want to get our hands on. So yeah, I shall catch you very shortly in the cow pasture. So you'll see we're now up to 54 animals in the pasture, and if we about here, yes. So let's have a look at what we've got in stock. So again, I know it's a brown Swiss, but yeah, feel good. No. Yes, you're very young, but still worth probably having. We'll buy bubbles. Some of the names. Milk production high, yeah, good. Average and low, and that is it. So buy selected, another 5 grand invested. Super. 58 animals. So the light is surprisingly good, so I think we're probably just going to crack on with the mowing, I reckon. Yeah, let's do that. Right, I shall put away the over the fence. There we go. I put away the sprayer. We've got so much herbicide. Not herbicide, liquid fertilizer left, which hopefully we'll just manage to dump somewhere. And then we've got that empty if we need to spray any herbicide, which don't think we will, but you never know. So, like I said, I'll get this put away. We might, in fact, actually put the herbicide. No, we won't. We'll put the liquid fertilizer in this area here. There we go. Super. Lovely and neat. Right, I shall see you when we start or carry on with the mowing. So I've got a couple of rows or a couple of passes left to do, and the light is going, but it just looks stunning. I love it. The only thing is that's weird is, one, the saving is lifting everything up at the right time. There we go. Is I think because when I updated the save to the latest release of the map, all of the fields had the sort of flat-ish texture. It's picking that up and almost dragging it onto the swaths, which is interesting. But hopefully, for now we've mown. Oh, this field's going to go to a crop, so it doesn't matter. But the other field, we shouldn't then get that. I did notice it on there as well, so yes, a bit odd, but we are nearly done. I've started the baling, but what I'll do is I'll work through the night, because I'm such a grafter, and then in the morning we will, I'll just show you, we will probably need to cultivate first. Yes, we will. And then we can drill the green beans, which means then they'll be ready to harvest in September, and then we can get oats in. So it works out really blooming well. So yeah, I'm glad I stumbled across that little nugget of information. And like I say, it'll be something slightly different to what we have done previously. So let's get those lifted up and folded. We shall leave the JCB here for now. We can turn off the lights and the engine, and we'll crack on. But yeah, I shall see you in May. Then we'll pop the beacons on just to cross the road. Now, if I just spin round, you'll see our corn is up. Both fields, funnily enough. And yeah, everything is looking rather good. So we got 89 bales off of this field, which is pretty darn good, I think. So I'm not going to put the fert down now because we've got IBCs full of liquid fert. So what we will do is we'll run it without to get the beans in the ground, and then we can come through potentially when they have germinated. I do like the way it sort of wiggles through, so we'll go straight. I think that's good. Right, super. Alles gut. I can, even know a little bit of German. Right, so let's get up there. Things seem to have failed. Turn on and lower down. Are we drilling? It looks like we are, which is good. Let's get backed up and hit the old GPS's button. So cruise control on, and let's just have a look. Why? There we go. There we go. Just what we want. And a final double check. Green beans. Excellent. Now, whether we need any more seed or not, I do not know. But we should be okay. It's not a massive field, like I say. But if we need some, we need some. Can he get away from that? Superb. Right. I should push on, do a little bit, and we'll check back in very shortly. So, headland's done, and I did do an extra one at either end, because they'd only put in 2. Now, I meant to say, we've had, or we haven't had, we've got a fair few pregnant cows now. So, what I'll do very quickly, before we get to the end of the row, is... I won't go through and count more, but there are, he says if you can find them, yeah, we go. So there's quite a few as we go down that are now with calf. So we'll need to move those, into, I've just completely lost my train of thought now with that stupid joke, pun. I don't know what to call it. We will need to move those into the barn. Probably going to be a couple of loads, I think. Like I say, I've not counted, but there was a decent amount that have now got pregnant. So we need to do that. Food, I think the barn was all right. Yeah, so they've got quite a bit of meadow, quite a bit of TMR still. So yeah, job's a good one. Job is a good one. And interestingly, we've got 81 litres of milk in the pasture. Now, I'm assuming that one of the cows that I bought is old enough and has maybe had a calf before, I guess. So therefore they will start to produce milk, which is not a bad thing. A little, every little helps. Super-duper. So yeah, our milk production has started. It's in its infancy. Let's leave it at that. Now, we won't need to roll this because we've got that fancy mod that means that some crops we don't have to roll. The other thing that I've done is it was suggested that there is the garage mod, which is this one. So it actually shows us what we own, if anything's leased, etc. And it just breaks it down, like as kind of by the categories that we know and love, and we can actually see what we own without actually having to go into this menu. So, yeah, awesome. And it was Eagles, I think, that suggested that. So, thank you, buddy, for that. So, yeah, we are getting to it now. I mean, once we've done this, well, like I say, it needs to germinate. We can spray it there. It probably doesn't even need to germinate, to be honest. We could maybe go over it and just do that. Need to move the cows, and then we're probably good to maybe look at doing a few contracts and probably start to move through the time a bit quicker. Now we've got absolutely everything in the ground, or nearly at least. That is something that we can do, because I don't think we're going to have to do any weeding. We might need to check on this, but again, it's not a big task to do it with the size of the spray that we've got. So, yeah, that's the plan. We might be able to get through to a canola harvest soon, which would be super, because I feel like we haven't used the combine for a fair while. So on that note, I think I'm going to leave it here for this episode. Now, it may well be a slightly shorter episode. However, I'm just conscious that trying to cram too much into one episode, etc. And we haven't at this point, but if I carry on, I know I will. So I'm going to say thank you all very, 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 very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, leave us a like, massive shout out, and thanks to the YouTube channel members and Patreons. Your support is, as always, fantastically appreciated. Interesting choice for us there, but nevertheless, yeah, so thanks all, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.